Don't go to your grave, or don't let someone else go to theirs without your doing your part in making things right. I'll spend a little more time than I normally do introducing this because I want you to know the seriousness of the subject. Matthew 5 includes 2 verses that address it when we are the offender. Matthew 18 includes a section at the end of that chapter where we are the objects of someone else's offense and we have been hurt by it. So let's look first at Matthew 5, verse 23 and verse 24. Listen to what he says. If you are presenting your offering at the altar, those are terms that applied to people in a day in which offerings were made at an altar. It was a part of the worship where an individual brought a sacrifice, an animal or whatever, a bird sometime. You are presenting your offering at the altar. So in our case, it would be you have come before God in prayer. You are in worship. Let's make it even broader. You're sitting in a church service. You're participating in the worship time. You're singing the songs. You're singing the hymns. You're praying with the one who leads, and you're meditating on the truth. And suddenly you're seized with the realization of something. Look at what it says. If you are presenting your offering at the altar and there remember that your brother has something against you. It's pretty clear, isn't it? Someone has something against you. Brother, sister, the family of God. So what do? Well, the great tendency is to say simply, Lord, I've done wrong. Let's make it personal. I said something ugly to my wife this morning, and I was harsh, and I was quick when I said it, and I ask you to forgive me. And I'm grateful for your forgiveness. And I think the Lord, speaking from verse 23, would go, you need to read the next verse, because it doesn't work like that. That's a cop-out. So if someone has something against you, verse 24, the verbs stand like sentries on duty. Look at the verbs. Leave, go, be reconciled, then come. Got it? When you're reading your Bible and you're doing your work in the text, pay attention to the action words. The verbs speak volumes when we think about how the truth hits us and is to be applied by us. So these are not nice suggestions. These are not ideas you might think about. These are imperatives. So stop. It's the only time I know in the scriptures where we are told to interrupt our worship to take care of other matters. Leave your offering there before the altar and go. Look at the order. First, be reconciled. That is a key term in this passage. The original word has a prefix for going through something. And the latter part of the word means to alter or change. To go through a process that alters or changes things. Got it? That's what it means to be reconciled. One source that I checked said it means to change enmity for friendship, bringing about a mutual concession for mutual hostility. Another writes, seeing to it that the angry brother or sister renounces his or her hostility. Now, they may not have told you that they're angry. They may not have told you the struggle that they've gone through since you hurt them, since you wounded them. But it's there. And it lingers until you leave your offering, go and turn enmity into amity. You're reconciled. God is honored by immediate obedience first. And notice the next word is then. Come and present your offering. Look at the text. Look at the verse. First be reconciled and then come and present your offering. Others are healed by vulnerable confession. I want to do something I don't think I've ever done before. I want to tell you about a CD titled Finding Healing Through Forgiveness. The reason I tell you about it is a message my wife shared with our congregation several years ago. This little CD, two-part CD, of all the CDs we've released over all these years, this is number one because of her. I set it up, I then stepped aside and she stepped up. He rarely does anything like this, but because I really urged her to do it, she had a story to tell. It was an offense that had been going on between her and my mother. And she doesn't hold back. With a few tears and in complete honesty, she talks about making things right with my mom. And she didn't go to blame my mother, though there certainly was blame on the other side. And she didn't go to make herself look good. She went because she was haunted by these verses. She couldn't let them go. She made things right. It was beautiful. I won't tell her story. You can hear it if you want to connect with our Insight for Living office. We'll help you get one of those copies. It's called Finding Healing Through Forgiveness. But I will tell you a part of the answer. A few days later, I got a phone call and my mother had died. Less than a week. And I put the phone down after talking to my daddy. I was just about to hop in my car and zip over there to be with him as she lay on the sofa, dead. Went to sleep while taking a nap. And I looked at Cynthia. It was like it was yesterday. I said, honey, Mom just died. And she cried, and then she said, I'm so glad I made things right. Don't go to your grave, or don't let someone else go to theirs without your doing your part in making things right.